Legend has it that it was written by the Dark One.
The box. You opened it. We came.
Where are you going?
We've got to return some video.
Have you heard about this videotape that kills you when you watch it? And as soon as it's over, your phone rings. Someone knows you've watched it. And what they say is...
Due by midnight.
You have a call, Master. Hello, Michael.
Fucker! Who are you? What did you do?
If I were you, I would address that question to myself.
Okay, who killed that man? And what's happened?
You were there, Michael. You know exactly what you did.
All these fucking Bernie Sanders memes.
I know. I don't even know where it came from.
The inauguration.
Why is it so funny? Just like an old man.
I don't know why it caught on, but I find it funny the way they're just like photoshopping him into different things.
I think the thing that I saw with Resident Evil 8 having Orson Welles is way better.
What?
Resident Evil 8, the new game coming out, has Orson Welles in it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
From his French champagne commercial.
You show, yeah.
Ah, the French champagne. Pas pour maçon.
I don't know what that is.
You haven't seen that commercial? That's what I posted on Instagram, right? There's a picture from Resident Evil 8 and Orson Welles. And then listen to this guy from the commercial. Ready? Okay. It's Orson Welles.
Is Orson Welles still alive? He's dead, right?
Fuck, no. No.
Why is my flashlight turned on? What the fuck? I told you to go on silent and to turn on my flashlight. That's what I'm fucking saying about this shit.
It's time to switch to Apple.
Turn on silent.
That isn't a supported function.
Fucking serious? This is such a...
Oh, it has 3 cameras on it?
Yeah.
That's cool.
I guess so. I'm just so freaking stubborn about switching over to Apple, man.
But the camera's cooler looking.
I never use the cameras. I don't really care about cameras that much. I never take pictures.
Yeah, but you need to. You need to start doing more on your Instagram.
I'm doing a lot on Instagram, I thought.
You're not using hashtags, like I told you.
Oh, you're right.
That's why no one's seeing your stuff.
Yeah. I'll use hashtags, I guess. I forgot about those.
Yeah, you need to.
I'm not used to using hashtags.
I know.
Are we?
Get used
are
to
we
it.
recording?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I was gonna say this is something that maybe we should record. We'll talk about the beers we like too.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna be talking about beer.
You know what I want to do? What I would love to do is somebody that comments in like that is ask them to like do a Zoom meeting or like just like call in or something. We could be completely like civil about it, but I think it'd be cool to just like talk to somebody that hates us. It'd be funny.
Well, the thing is, nameless, faceless people on YouTube, people that just have accounts with no picture and shit, they'll never do something like that.
That's true.
They're safe behind the keyboard.
Yeah. They're just spewing their shit.
Yeah. They're just mad because we hated Hellraiser 2.
Right.
They are the queefs that we talked about that write those 3-paragraph fucking Tolkien long reports on Amazon.
It's like, you got that much time, or you're that concerned about this that you're going to take that much time.
Yeah. We offended him that much.
Yeah. It happens, I guess. When you put your opinion out there, you're going to get something back.
Yeah, which I'm fully open for. Trust me.
I would have been a lot happier if it was a little bit more constructive, though. Like, maybe you can do this or that, but this was just like, you guys suck.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. It's like, cool, you're speaking.
Do more research.
It's like, all right, we're doing this for fun, and research is not fun, first of all.
First of all, if it was a movie where there was something to research, there would have been research like there is in every episode. It's just that.
Because all we did was we watched the first movie, we watched the second movie, then we commented how the second movie didn't really follow the first movie. So tell me what research we need
Which
to
we
do.
also state we're not trying to be dickheads about it.
Yeah.
The second movie just sucks balls.
Yeah, and we said if there's a different opinion, let us know.
Yeah. What did we miss?
And he never even said his opinion about Hellraiser or why it was good.
No.
So as you
It's because there's
somebody
nothing to
obviously
defend. There's nothing to
commented
defend. He
negatively on
just
us, which
likes.
was cool,
He just likes it. There's nothing to actually say why it's not anything we said.
Yeah. But that makes me feel happy. We've made it on the map.
We touched someone on an emotional level.
Yes, we've touched somebody. If we can touch one person out there.
Let us touch you.
Sounds creepy when I say it.
Let us touch you like Edward Furlong didn't do in this movie, Brainscan.
Yes.
Anyway, this is Due by Midnight,
Yeah,
episode
welcome.
5.
Due by Midnight.
Forrest.
And it's the horror Due by Midnight podcast. Not the one that teaches you how to properly use your time during college or something.
Yeah. Well, we're going to get
into that.
We're going to get into that.
I didn't know
in the
when
end.
you wanted to get into that, so I was kind of introducing.
I want to talk about it at the end. At the end of this podcast, stick around because we have some, as the kids like to call it now, tea to spill.
They call it tea. Oh, for the twisted tea.
No, they call it tea like drama now.
What?
Yeah, like spilling the tea. I just found this out like a day ago.
Fuck, who the hell drinks tea nowadays? Like iced tea, I guess. But
Well, I mean, but
tea. That's
terms are so weird now. I don't know. We're fucking old now, dude.
Yeah,
we're old.
Yeah, I just
Gossip
imagine
is called
kids talking about tea.
Gossip is called tea now.
Okay.
So
well then, okay.
Yeah,
right.
I don't know. Terms have changed.
Yeah, but tea's a stupid one. Well, that's how you know you're getting old, right? When you're just like, that's so
or,
stupid.
Or Clint Eastwood
in my day.
Gran Torino.
Get off my grass or lawn. Yeah. Which I understand that, man. When you put a lot of effort into your lawn and somebody walks all over it,
or has their dog shit on it.
Yeah, and then they put like their tools, and then like they have their kids throw their trash on your lawn. Yeah, it's not good, you know.
No,
I lived in the ghetto.
Working on their crackhead cars.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a fun time in my life.
Anyway, again, welcome to the Due by Midnight podcast.
Yeah, we're happy that you're here.
Episode 5.
Happy that we're here.
I'm Forrest.
I'm Brett.
And we are back for Brainscan.
Brainscan. And as you can tell, our mood's a lot happier than the last one.
Way better.
Way better.
Way better.
Way better.
Brainscan 1994. 1994. The year my brother was born.
I think that was a good year. I was 11.
11.
I had fun when I was 11, I think.
I think I was like 8.
I was climbing trees.
Where are my fucking notes? There we are. There we are. Got a lot of notes on this one.
All right.
So, Brainscan, 1994. This is a Canada film. Canada film.
Canadian film. Canadian film. Yeah,
Yeah, shot in Quebec.
Oh, okay. Huh. Because we were actually wondering, like, where was this? Like, where was this supposed to take place? I wonder if it's actually supposed to take place in Canada, because they never reference like,
they
anywhere
don't.
that
the way it looks like it would be any kind of Midwestern, I guess, area, like Seattle or some shit.
It looks really nice. Like, the whole area, there's lots of trees and greenery and nice houses everywhere. And we kind of commented on the houses and how these kids are all rich.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Dude, anyone that I think has seen this movie would know that these Edward Furlong and his friend and the girlfriend of the movie obviously are living the fucking magazine 90s room that every kid dreamed of as a kid. Fucking huge amps and speakers, computers with fucking foreheads.
A freaking AI that recognizes the voice better than my own Galaxy Note 20.
And you can program it to be Igor from a fucking scary movie.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
It is cool.
You have your voicemail saying, "No, my Mazda is busy."
Yeah.
That's fucking sweet.
It is very cool.
And yeah.
His room is at the very top level.
At the attic.
Yeah.
What kid was going to be given a fucking attic room with a fridge?
Fridge and a kitchen.
And a blender.
Full kitchenette area. Yeah.
And that fucking bubble machine thing.
Yeah. It's a freaking cool room. Like,
yeah.
I would like to have my living room set up like that. That's sick. I gotta get one of those big bubblers. It's sick.
Dude, those things, every time I went into Spencer's, those things were like I don't know. They just left you in awe for like a couple minutes because they're so fucking
They're
cool.
They're cool. And all it is bubbles going
In
water.
water.
It's so simple.
But it looks futuristic as
really
fuck.
Cool. Yeah.
It's like we're living in the Matrix.
Yeah. Cool looking.
Brainscan. Edward Furlong, who we all know from Terminator 2, Judgment Day.
Yes.
One of the greatest sequels in sci-fi action movies ever.
One of the few sequels in any genre where a sequel is better than the actual movie, you know? And Terminator 2 is the best out of the series.
Yeah, I would agree. I really, really love the first one. The first one is...
Yeah, the first one's cool, definitely.
The first one of Terminator, I feel like, was stronger as far as setting up how desperate the situation was that there's no getting away from this fucking machine. Mm-hmm. It's going to do anything it can to get you. And in the second one, it takes the machine that was so fucking crazy and amplifies it by making them liquid metal.
Yeah. And that's what was so cool about it, was because you never, like, as far as the, you know, graphics go and stuff like that, you didn't really see anything like that up until that point, you know?
No.
This thing walking through, you know, gel bars and stuff like that. And just how cool it looked. He would take bullets and then they would just, like, heal up automatically. You never saw things like that. that I remember, at least. You never saw anything that was like that at all, as far as computer generated, whatever you call that, CGI.
Yeah, I agree. So Edward Furlong played Michael Bauer, the guy, the kid that we kept on forgetting his name. His name is super forgettable, even though they say it about a billion times.
They say Michael a ton. I didn't know it was Bauer, his last name, but they say Michael a lot.
Yeah. Edward Furlong's movies. Could you name any other movie that you've seen him in besides Terminator 2?
No, and that's what I was asking you. Like, what did he ever do besides this and Terminator?
So there's a bunch of movies that I've seen of his that are not good. Okay. Pet Sematary 2.
Okay, I never saw that.
Fucking horrible movie. It is absolute dog shit. Absolute dog shit. But the one thing I do remember from being a kid is going to Universal Studios. And Universal Studios had like the unofficial Terminator 3 story, but in 3D as like a 3D sit-in ride.
Okay.
It was called T2, the 3D Battle Across Time. And it was a special short little movie thing that they filmed with the original lady who played Sarah Connor and him and Arnold Schwarzenegger and what's his face? Not Michael Bay. I don't want James Cameron.
Okay.
James Cameron filmed and directed the whole thing, and they did it all for Universal Studios. It was fucking awesome. I remember that as a kid. It was one of the coolest things I remember being there, aside from Backdraft at the time. Did you ever go to Universal Studios?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like, I heard so much about Universal Studios. I think the last time I was there was when I was like 2. Like, I literally don't remember it at all. I've just been there in person as far as my body's been there, but I actually don't remember anything about it. Man, I hear it's pretty freaking cool.
Sucks.
What you just said right there kind of shows.
That sucks. I feel bad for you because none of that shit exists anymore.
Yeah.
Backdraft's gone. Terminator's gone. The only thing that still kind of exists from when I remember is Jaws is gone. King Kong.
Jaws is gone?
King
really?
Kong
That's
is...
like... That's
Kong is gone.
Yeah,
Kong is gone too. The only thing that still remains, like the two things that I remember, is the Psycho House and Jurassic Park.
Okay, I can see Jurassic Park being there. Jurassic Park should always stay there.
So, Edward Furlong was also in American History X.
He was.
Yeah, he plays the little brother of.
He's bald though.
The white supremacist. Yeah, he's the white supremacist kid.
Yeah. You know what? That didn't even connect in my head. But now that I'm thinking about it, he totally is.
Yeah, okay. That's why I said in the movie.
Okay. That's why you referenced it.
Yeah, that's why I referenced. He's also in Detroit Rock City. You remember that movie?
Yeah, I do remember that. Okay.
I always forget he's in that.
I do too because I didn't remember right now.
No, this is the really funny one. The one that's the super shitty level. Like beyond Pet Sematary 2. The Crow, Wicked Prayer. It's the 4th installment of The Crow.
Ooh, that's going
And
forward.
he plays the Crow.
He plays the Crow.
Yeah. But imagine how he looks in this movie just with his hair messed up in crow makeup. It's that shitty.
Okay.
I
can't really see him being the Crow.
It's bad. It's extremely bad.
Can't take
And
the
then
mic as that
the one
dark.
that confused me the most, that I didn't even know there was a fucking remake of, was Night of the Demons. That movie on my shelf right there. The classic 80s horror Halloween film. Somehow there's a remake of it in 2009 with Edward Furlong. Confused the shit out of me when I saw it. I didn't even know they made a remake.
Yeah. They shouldn't have, maybe?
Probably not. I haven't watched it yet. Now I'm going to have to. And then the second biggest role in this movie is T. Ryder Smith as the Trickster, which I think is the huge selling point of the movie.
I like the Trickster a lot. He's great. I don't know who T. Ryder Smith is, but...
Neither did I. And then doing my research on this, dude, this guy has...
Just research. Wow, cool.
Yeah, apparently, we need to do more of that on this show. But this guy has done so much shit from childhood of mine that I didn't even realize he did. Like, when I first looked him up as, like, theatrical actor and sometimes voice actor, I'm like, okay, cool, what has he done? This guy's done a shitload of cool things that I didn't even know he was a part of. First, he did... Do you remember Are You Afraid of the Dark? The kid show from the 90s?
Oh, yeah, that was like Goosebumps.
Yeah. Except the kids actually die in Are You Afraid of the Dark?
No, I never watched Goosebumps or that one, so I didn't know.
Well, he plays one of the voice characters in the video game for the PC, which I barely remembered. I didn't remember it all until I looked it up. I was like, holy shit, I haven't seen this game since it came out. Like, it was something I completely forgot about on PC. So it's a point-and-click adventure game.
Okay.
But
you didn't really play PC games, did you?
Well, I did in the 90s. I mean, I had the Super Nintendo and the NES, but I mean, I went to my friend's house and they had the Goosebump game and the Are You Afraid of the Dark game. Games that I completely forgot about. It brought whole new memories back that I completely lost.
Oh, okay.
Just looking this up. And then he also did a voice in Manhunt 2, a video game that I hated. But these are the two big ones, or the three big ones that blew my mind. Because if you know me, Brett, and you know, like, if one of my favorite video game franchises, not Fallout, I know you're going to think about it first, but Bioshock.
Oh, yeah, okay.
He played the voice of Sander fucking Cohen in Bioshock. And Sander Cohen is like the crazy artist, like murderer guy in the game.
That must not be Bioshock Infinite then, because...
He's in Bioshock Infinite also.
What?
Playing Sander Cohen. Because Sander Cohen's also referenced in Bioshock Infinite. Because the worlds intertwine. The worlds intertwine. From the first game and the third game. I don't remember
Sander Cohen.
Well, Sander Cohen's not really like a big playing character.
Okay.
He's mentioned just because of Rapture, the Underwater City.
No, yeah.
From the first game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I saw that, I was like, oh my god.
That's
that is
cool.
really fucking sweet.
Bioshock Infinite is probably on my top 10 list. Oh yeah, it's definitely on my top 5 list, actually, I think.
Bioshock Infinite is really fucking good.
Yeah.
But the Bioshock trilogy for me is like in my top 5 like game franchises. Yeah. The Bioshock trilogy.
Yeah, I'm not huge on the other Bioshocks, but Bioshock Infinite, I freaking love.
You got spoiled. That's why I spoiled you.
Yeah, you showed me that one first, and I was just like, "This is awesome."
And then I gave you Bioshock. You're like,
and it's so funny because I remember Bioshock Infinite so much because I had to go down to San Diego for like a conference thing, and I had to leave, my whole world here behind, so I couldn't play my video games. And I remember having dreams about Bioshock Infinite when I was down in San Diego at the conference, because I hadn't played it for like a day or two, and I just wanted to play it so bad. So it was just like coming out in my dreams, and I was always thinking about it. I couldn't wait to get back to it. And that's how you know, like, the signal of a good game is when it just follows you, and you just want to get back and play it and get lost in that world again.
Yeah. I think that was the first game that I remember seeing you, like, crazy excited about since when you were, like, playing Killzone 2.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was a great game, man. I loved it. It was so different from anything out there, especially as far as first-person shooters. It was very, like, comic, and, like, the way things were drawn were kind of comic-y. It was, had all this weird, like,
time paradox.
Yeah, with, like, the George Washington and, like,
our alternate reality.
Yeah, it was really freaking cool. Just everything about it, the whole different world was so cool. And just, like, the way the mechanics worked.
I think it's about time that you get back into it. You need to get the HD remake.
I think I'd play it again.
The
Yeah,
HD version?
Yeah, I would love to play it on my TV right now.
Dude, so yeah, your TV now is fucking sick. So I looked at the Xbox 360 version when I bought the remaster version. I was like, holy fuck. A million times better.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
a million times better.
That's awesome.
And then he was also like a bunch of different voices in a show I've never seen, but is highly popular, The Venture Bros.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that. I haven't really watched it.
Yeah,
I think I tried to watch it a couple times. I just couldn't get into it.
It's hugely popular.
But yeah, there's a ton of seasons of it, I think.
Yeah, well, I've never seen it, but hugely popular, and he plays a bunch of the voices in the show.
Right?
I don't know. It looks like something from the Goonies. The picture look like.
Oh.
I don't know. But
I've
hugely
heard
popular.
Of it. I just don't really. I'm not super familiar with the actual show.
So, for me, seeing this guy do all this stuff, it's like, wow, this guy's been doing a lot of shit since the fucking early 90s.
Yeah.
Probably. So, and I don't know. Having something, it doesn't happen very often, because I'm very already nostalgic and have rose-tinted glasses towards video games, movies, comic books.
Right.
It's not very often when I read something, I'm like, it jogs something loose in my memory that I had lost about these fucking old PC games that I was playing when I was a kid. So that was a cool thing. The ratings for this movie.
Oh, I love the ratings.
IMDb is a 6.1. So a little better.
What was Hellraiser? The second one.
The second one was really low.
It was like a 4, I think.
Yeah, it was lower than my score. I remember that.
Yeah.
Which I kind of want to redo and say it's even worse than my score. IMDb 6.1, which I think is a little above average. And then Rotten Tomatoes, the critics give it a 19%.
19%?
The critics.
Really? Okay.
But the audience rating is 60%.
Okay.
So it's kind of almost on par with IMDb. Now,
in my opinion, the audience rating is really what matters.
Now the crux
had like 20-30% on critics and then like 99% on the audience.
Now the crux of this whole rating system that me and you have. Your first impression. What do you give this movie?
Man, I liked it. I was entertained through the whole thing. If I was to go with like straight up horror, I would give it lower. But as far as just enjoying the movie, I'm going to give it an 8.
Yeah, I am right there. Actually, I was right at 8 also.
Okay.
I think this movie is I'll say it like this: if you grew up in this time period, if you're a kid that was born in the 80s. Or even born in the really early 90s and you grew up through the 90s, it's filled with things that is going to just bring you back, and you totally understand how new the technology was at the time.
Yeah.
And the effects for this movie, 94, are not bad.
I said that. I was like, I'm watching these older movies and I'm kind of impressed by what they had.
Yeah.
Because what we have right now, I don't feel is a whole lot better. I mean, it doesn't look a whole lot more real.
There are parts of the movie that there's a little bit of plot holes going on.
Definitely.
But as far as an overall entertainment factor, the movie made me laugh. The movie had me making funny comments about what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, you could interact with the movie with your people around you like we were doing. We were just making comments, stuff like that. Like we couldn't even do that during Hellraiser 2 because it was just there was nothing to even comment on because there was nothing to care about.
No, it was total snore fest and also just complete disappointment.
Yeah, and continuity didn't have anything with continuity at all. This was, at least we could talk about it. They had a lot of cool different things. The music was awesome. The
soundtrack for this movie kills.
Yeah, when every time they had a song playing, I'm just like, oh, that's fucking sick.
You noticed Primus.
Yeah.
And I noticed
bass players.
White Zombie. It's like, dude, this is great shit.
Yeah, they just had great music throughout the whole thing. They had cool things as far as the way the rooms were set up. Like his room we were commenting on.
It's straight out of a fucking magazine.
Yeah, it looks awesome. Everything just was, it was fun to watch, It was a fun movie.
Most of our age demographic will remember magazines and seeing Game Informer magazines or Mad Magazine, where they had those ads, And the ad shows like, you could win a trip to, or win this for your room. And they show the fucking kid's room, and it's like the thing that you would love. There's video games everywhere, CDs everywhere. You've got fucking posters of metal bands on the wall.
Yep.
And you're like, this kid is fucking spoiled as shit.
I know, right here, he's got the speakers. And
Yeah, he's got the fucking 5 4-head speakers in there.
He's got the tweeters and everything. He's got everything you need.
Do you hear that? That's our beer we're drinking.
Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Nobody cares, man.
You offended me. Hellraiser 2 is the best movie ever made.
I mean, honestly, his comment made me happy because I was like, wow, somebody listened to us. So that's awesome.
Yeah. Someone, like I said, we struck him on a personal level on his brain.
Please write again, because kind of made it move.
So, what we were saying is, the sets of the movie super relatable when you're a kid. It's like it's the stuff that you see that you always wanted. These kids have it.
Yep.
These kids almost look like they have perfect lives. Edward Furlong's character, yeah, his mom died. The beginning of the movie. What's the deal with the mom dying?
I don't know. Like, I thought they would have had that be more a part of what's going on, but it really didn't.
It plays no part in the entire movie.
Yeah, when you see something in a movie that you could just completely take out and it wouldn't matter, then why is it in there? You know?
I'm thinking is like, was it padding? Was it padding to make the movie longer?
But that's the thing. It really didn't. It was like a snippet in the beginning.
I mean, the credits were kind of long because we're just watching him being rolled through that fucking hallway at the beginning.
That's true. I mean, did they need to make the movie 5 minutes longer? I feel like they had more footage than that.
I don't know. The mom's death played no role throughout the entire movie. His fucked up knee, for some reason, that they made it a real point to make us know that he had a fucked up knee.
A lot, yeah. They kind of highlighted that he had that messed up knee.
Surgery.
Yeah, they, like you were pointing out, oh, he's walking weird, or down the street. Oh, yeah, that's because he had the messed up knee. But it never played a part in the movie at all.
Yeah, this isn't a Stephen King book. You know, like these small little details.
They don't matter. Yeah,
they don't matter. Like if he's in a chair, a virtual reality game where he's going to sleep and somehow not knowing what he's doing. What the fuck does it matter what his knee is? It doesn't.
It doesn't. Yeah.
It doesn't. So the whole beginning with his mom, the knee, it's just a fucking throwaway thing. It doesn't matter. It doesn't ever come back up again.
It really doesn't.
It never comes back up again.
Yeah.
Ever. Until the trickster's like, kill yourself. You'll be with your mom. That's it.
Yeah, and they could have said that with just saying that the mom was dead, but without having the whole thing with the car scene, and I don't know. Yeah, it really didn't make a difference at all, and it had played no part in the movie, so it makes you wonder why it was there.
Yeah. And Edward Furlong is alone this whole movie. He's living like the dream life that every high school kid would want. He's got a chick next door who's willing to show her tits to you, obviously wants you to fuck her every night.
I know, she's coming knocking on your door. Oh, well, that was kind of in the dream, right? When she was knocking on his door and stuff.
Yeah, but not the showing the tits part.
Yeah,
knowing that she's showing the tits to him and he's recording her like a creep.
Right? I know. Nowadays, that'd be sexual harassment. Back then, it was romantic, apparently. And that's what I'm saying. He's got like the perfect life. He's got the awesome room. Yep.
His mom might be dead, but it happened when he was like 5 or something in the movie. He's in high school now. Obviously a senior or something in high school. And you got the best room. Chick with next door with tits. Video games. What more is a college, or not a high school student boy gonna want? He's got everything.
He does. Really does.
But he acts like a giant wuss throughout the entire movie.
Yeah.
That was like the major thing. Me and Brett as we're watching this, we're like, come on, Michael.
Yeah, we were yelling at him.
Like, what are you doing? Like, this is every teenage boy's dream. And you're just like, I'm just going to play video games.
Yeah.
And I'm going to turn my stereo up really loud instead of going to the party next door.
Yeah, I didn't really get that. Like, why didn't he go to the party or just, like, show up or whatever?
I don't know.
And because it sounded like he knew the girl because he went over to her house, right?
Yeah. The
And
parents
like,
knew who he was.
Yeah, the parents knew who he was. He knew her name, and he was like, I'm here to see her, and they didn't act like it was anything weird. So, like, why didn't he just go to the party then? Like, if you were having a party and you didn't invite me, I'm doing quotes here, I would have been like, oh, I maybe forgot or just figured that I would know. And I would just, pop over and say, what's up? Or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, why wouldn't you do the same thing? I don't know.
I mean, I think, I can't say we've all been there, but there are times in my life where after high school, even sometimes in high school, I saw a party going on that I didn't even know the people throwing a party.
Yep.
And I just kind of acted like I belonged
Yeah, you just
there.
kind of go in and have fun.
Yeah.
If it's big enough. Yeah. I've done that when I used to live downtown. I would be walking home from a bar or something, and then there'd be people outside of a house, and I just kind of walk in the house.
Yeah.
I'm a friendly guy, and, I'm not a dick or anything.
Yeah.
I just eventually make some friends and just talk to people and have fun.
You're not
yeah.
the fucking homeless guy coming in off the street.
I was a
acting
lot
like
younger, so yeah,
chode.
I wouldn't do that nowadays, but yeah.
Not now. Well, maybe.
Maybe, possibly.
If we were drunk enough.
Yeah, true.
But still, we wouldn't be dicks.
But we wouldn't be dicks. And that's the biggest thing, right?
Yeah.
When you have a party, you want to have good, cool people there. So.
Yep.
Anyways.
This is just turning into nostalgia fest right
Yeah,
now.
we're just talking about stuff from our past life.
Wow.
Go ahead and comment about how much you hate this.
So we both agree, an 8 out of 10. It is a good movie.
Yeah, that's pretty good, right? 8 out of 10. I mean, I think the highest we've given is an 8. Maybe, did I give something an 8.5? No, I don't think so. I think 8
this
is the
highest,
right?
you've given. I think you gave The Fly like a 7.
7.5 I gave The Fly.
Yeah.
And then I gave...
Texas Chainsaw, you gave it the same rating. I remember that.
Okay.
Hellraiser, actually, maybe Hellraiser gave an 8.
Oh, okay. That would make sense. Okay. Yeah.
Hellraiser was good.
Hellraiser I liked, yes.
Yeah, I agree. This movie is, even if you didn't grow up in the 90s and you're like, what? You grew up in the 2000s maybe. You're freaking 20 years old right now and you didn't grow up with floppy disk drives and having to rent movies from the VHS store. You're like, wow, this is old-ass technology. I think there's still something up to appreciate here as far as just a funny and entertaining plot.
Yeah. Okay, as far as horror movies go, though, would you consider this like a horror movie? Is this in the genre?
No, I mean, there's really
movie?
not that much gore. Well, I mean, there's a little bit of gore, but
cutting off of the foot, which is gross.
There's never a part where you're gonna be scared.
No, the movie's not scary at all.
This is like the Labyrinth meeting. I don't know, semi-horror film. I don't consider it horror.
Yeah, it's not really horror to me. It's more.
It's almost like a spoof.
It's almost kind of comical in a way.
Yeah,
because the way he interacts with what was that dude's name?
The Trickster.
The Trickster. Yeah, the way he interacts with him is almost like an imaginary friend.
It's his cool imaginary friend. Yeah, I think the Trickster would be, because the Trickster obviously can't. He doesn't have any power. He doesn't have any power except to do shit to himself.
Yeah, because that's all he does, right?
Yeah, that's why he's always begging Edward Furlong
to do stuff.
Do stuff, and you can literally just ignore him or just kind of like, no, fuck you, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, the worst he's gonna do is fuck up your house.
Yeah, he's kind of mischievous. He's
like Rufio. He's got Rufio's haircut.
Rufio's hair. And he's eating the chicken and the freaking food is everywhere. So he's like kind of this mischievous, like, imaginary friend. He's not really scary. I don't really consider him scary at all.
He doesn't really get even kind of scary until he starts trying to absorb Edward Furlong at the end.
Yeah.
Like, that'd be the scary part.
That wasn't really even scary because nothing really even came of that. Besides the fact that he kind of, like, became Edward, or Michael, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. That was really... I think that was cool, that he was, like, possessing his body. But they ended it super quick.
They ended it really quick, yeah.
And I don't understand how he beat him.
I don't either. And he's like, yeah, you lost.
Yeah.
How?
He's like, oh yeah? No, I did it. Here's Dr. Drew.
Dr. Drew, yeah. The cop totally looks like Dr. Drew.
And he's a fucking creep.
And he just, like, breaks into people's houses illegally.
He breaks into people's houses illegally. He grabs children in a wrong way.
Yeah.
We were waiting for Chris Hansen to pop out and be like, take a seat. What are you doing in this kid's house?
Did you meet somebody online? And you're talking?
It's like, no, it's the 90s. We don't have AOL yet. So the budget for this movie, I did my normal amount of research that I do for movies, but...
Which is 100% more than me, so good job.
Well, I could not find anywhere on any website. I went to about 7 different ones. I could not find anything that records the budget for this movie.
Huh.
Every website I went to, the budget is unknown for this movie. Which is really strange. You'd think that'd be
that is weird.
Public
I
record.
feel like you could go online and find the budget for almost every movie.
Yeah. I could not find one number for the budget. I could find all the numbers it made, but nothing on budget. And looking at this movie, the sets, which there aren't very many sets. It's the kids' rooms for the most part.
It is.
And a bunch of scenes of him hiding, and Edward Furlong hiding in a bush.
Yeah, which he's really good at.
Yeah, he's fucking...
U.S. government should hire this guy.
He's fucking Solid Snake.
Yeah.
And he can hide in a bush perfectly underneath an enemy's nose. The only thing missing was the cardboard box that he could fucking hide in. So I would imagine, like, this movie's budget couldn't have been more than $2 million.
I don't know. Maybe. I mean...
All that stereo equipment.
They had some cool special effects in it. Maybe that kind of burst it up a little bit.
I know, it's weird to not find any kind of budget, but
Yeah, it is.
The opening weekend in the United States, it made $1,725,000.
That seems so low, but that was a while ago.
Yeah. And then worldwide, it made almost $5 million.
Okay. And we don't know the budget.
We don't know the budget, so I can't tell.
I don't know.
I can't tell. What I do think is that
it had to have at least the same as Hellraiser, I would think.
What I do think that a big part of the budget probably went to was to pay Edward Furlong.
Yeah,
I kind of want to say
he was kind of a star, right?
Because he was the fucking Terminator kid, you know, and Terminator was the biggest fucking movie in the 90s. So there's no argument.
Riding that wave, yeah.
Yeah, there's no argument. I mean, seriously, all the way until Terminator 3, Terminator 2 was the fucking biggest movie in the 90s.
As it should have been, man. That was freaking awesome movie. I love watching that to this day. Like, that is a great movie.
Yeah. I always do this. If you ever want to test your surround sound system, I always put in Terminator 2, and the opening part with the fucking war with the machines is the ultimate test of surround sound. That and Jurassic Park.
It's just so cool, and Arnold Schwarzenegger plays it so freaking well. Like, he's the perfect hero or the perfect character
and villain.
Yeah, I mean the first one. Yeah, he's the perfect person to play a robot just by the way he talks normally. You know.
Yeah.
He sounds like a robot normally.
Your boots,
California,
your clothes, your motorcycle.
That's good. Good shit.
So, I think we both think video games in the 90s. When I watched this movie, the first thing I was reminded of was when I was a kid going to Santa Cruz. I went to Santa Cruz a lot as a kid.
Okay.
And the first time virtual reality games hit the market as in arcades is when I saw it in Santa Cruz. And those were the ones where they had the giant fucking helmets that you'd put on your head.
Yeah.
And the little circle things that you'd step into.
I played one of those, yeah. At the state fair. It was like when it was first coming out. Probably was like 10, maybe 12 years old. Mm-hmm. And that was like my first experience with virtual reality, was going in that little thing that you just explained. It was perfectly explained. It was exactly how it happened.
It's a memory that's like crystallized in my head, because there's a thing that kids now, if you're growing up and you didn't grow up in the time period, you're never going to be able to quite comprehend that. In the 90s and the 80s, things were so set in like, this is the future.
Yeah.
Like, when you saw something
There's
revolutionary...
positive, like, what do you call that? Like, where you're looking forward to something. Like,
Yeah.
a positive idea of the future being this crazy technological...
when you saw something from a movie
heaven almost,
starting to come kind of to fruition, that was what virtual reality was at that time. You were like, holy shit, this is actually coming true.
It is, yeah.
Maybe by the time we're in 2000...
You know what's funny? Is, like, I feel like they took a break or something, because that was a long time ago, right?
Yeah, it was.
And then, like, I feel like you didn't hear about virtual reality for, like, a decade almost. And then it popped up again, like, recently within the last, like, I don't know, 7-8 years or something like that.
Which it's
with
gotten,
Oculus Rift.
which has gotten pretty good. The Oculus Rift shit's
Yeah,
pretty
I
fun.
told you, man. Like, you just gotta try it. Like, it's fun as hell. Because what got me was I looked around and everything was, like, kind of ghosty. And then you saw the area you're supposed to go in.
Yeah.
And then when you pop in that area, everything disappears. And then you're, like, in that world. And that was,
that
like,
tripped me out.
That was really cool.
Yeah.
Because I was like, you stepped in that, like, that cone of... I don't know what you even call that, but it's like this.
It's the same principle as from when we were kids. There's a circle around you that you stay in, and you're in that virtual reality
so
state.
you go in that little area, but it's not an
It's just that
actual
these
physical area
It's just
anymore.
that these headsets have gotten fucking crazy smaller. Do you remember how they were? They fucking engulfed your
They were
entire
big,
head. They engulfed your entire head. You looked like you were wearing a fucking a
Well, that's why
stormtrooper
They
helmet.
had wires that attached to it too. I think to make it lighter. Or
Yeah,
something.
imagine something from like the Matrix mixed with a stormtrooper helmet. That's what you were fucking wearing on your head for virtual reality at that time. And it was like a cheap Doom clone or something like that is what I remember. I can't remember exactly what it was like. I just remember it being like a cheap Doom clone or a Quake looking clone. But this movie makes me think of that because of the whole thing where he's being sucked into the game and it's controlling his mind or something like that. I don't know. It just brings back all those feelings of virtual reality for the first time, and how we're all looking forward to the future. In video games, up to 94, all we had was some PC games. We had the Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis. There wasn't anything revolutionary.
Yeah, well, they were kind of revolutionary in their own way, though, right?
The
Genesis, the
8-bit graphics to 16-bit.
I mean, you doubled yourself right there, buddy.
Yeah.
That was only what, 5?
But
5
where
years.
you're going into something where you're putting a helmet on and it feels like you're there at that time, in quotes. That was revolutionary at the time. And then it just disappeared, like you said.
It did, yeah. That's what I felt like, like it was there and like it was kind of like a novelty and it was gone and you never heard from it again. And then it came back up just recently with the whole Oculus Rift, and then I think Steam has one too where they do something.
Which we were talking when we were watching him and the tricksters explaining the rules about Brainscan the game. I could totally see this being a fucking virtual reality game where you're playing a killer just like you would in Manhunt.
They might make something like that. I think there would be a lot of controversy if you just. The whole point of the game was to go and murder somebody, because that's all that happened here.
Yeah.
There was no other point besides going in and murder somebody. You didn't murder somebody because they were bad and you needed to get something from their safe or something like that, you know? It was just you go in and murder somebody. Like, this is just straight up...
It's a murder simulator.
Yeah, it's a murder simulator. And there would be a ton of controversy about that.
Which one day
I don't think would necessarily be a bad thing, because that's
one day I feel like something like that will exist.
Possibly.
Probably in our time.
I think. Well, it's kind of getting there almost. With
Grand Theft Auto. What's Grand Theft Auto besides murder simulation?
Yeah, there's still a point where though, like you can actually decide to go off of the missions and do your whatever the hell you want, right?
Right.
But there is the point of to beat the game.
There's a lot of murder of innocent people in Grand Theft Auto.
Actually do stuff like. Yeah, you're a criminal, so you're going to murder and stuff like that. But it's not just straight up. You just need to do this murder.
I guess this brings me to my point. If there was going to be a game like this in virtual reality, it would be Rockstar that would make it.
Yeah.
Because they did make Manhunt. And Manhunt, you were a fucking death row inmate killing
Which I think there was a lot of controversy
people,
around Manhunt.
a shitload.
Yeah.
And if you want to see, shameless plug, a very good and in-detailed review of Manhunt 1 and 2, check out my YouTube channel, Retro or Die, the Manhunt series.
It's good.
Very well received. I am kind of blowing myself there, but at the same time,
Hey,
the video speaks for itself.
if you're able to bend down that far, then blow yourself.
You know, I don't think I would actually try to suck my own dick.
No, I feel like every 13-year-old has.
I never tried to suck my own dick when I was 13.
Okay. Neither did I.
I mean, I don't want to taste cum.
You wouldn't have to necessarily taste cum.
I mean, what would the point of sucking your own dick then?
Well, you wouldn't.
If you're not going to cum.
You don't necessarily need to cum in your own mouth. I mean, you get yourself to that point without.
Yeah, but there's pre-cum.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about this anymore.
I know, it's a weird conversation. Wow, that's nasty. But, yeah, I'm not Marilyn Manson.
That's the funny thing is I remember that. What was I? I think I was in
I think every kid remembers that.
Yeah, Marilyn Manson had 2 ribs taken out or something like
Yep.
that, so he could.
I heard the same exact rumor.
Yeah, and to this day I don't know if that's true or not.
I don't know. I look at him now and he still looks like that kid from Wonder Years or whatever the fuck that controversy
he's
is.
Fat now, dude.
Yeah, and he's a giant pussy crybaby too. I'll say that because I've seen him cancel shows because people aren't fucking applauding for him.
All I know is the last time he was at Aftershock.
And Rob Zombie called him a pussy too.
I love Rob Zombie, man. I do
too.
I love Rob Zombie.
Dude, his shows are great.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't doubt it. I would love to see Rob Zombie live. He seems just like a really cool guy. But yeah, Marilyn Manson, I wouldn't doubt that he's a giant pussy.
No, he's.
He seems like that gothic child that was
The suburban.
Yes, exactly. The suburban gothic child that is depressed because, well, there's no reason to be.
Because he didn't get a Pokemon card pack that day.
Something. Who knows? Maybe their mom and dad worked too much. I don't know.
Boo-hoo.
Boo-hoo. Yeah, exactly. Right.
It's like Edward Furlong here.
Yeah.
You have the world by the balls as that fucking
Goddamn
teenager.
House that's like 3 stories high, and you got the coolest room in the world that, to this day, I would take over my own house.
I know. Like, when you were 17?
I was living.
I knew where you fucking
lived.
lived.
In a garage.
Yeah, you lived in a fucking
the
garage.
Ghetto, yeah.
The ghetto. And up to my whole life, I'm living in and out of ghettos in like Sacramento and then Salinas and then San Jose. It's just like, dude, this kid has the world by the balls. So whatever. And I think, well, back to the whole virtual reality thing. Man, it's so funny how we can just go off, just riding off in the sunset.
That's
with
what
topics.
we do on this. Apparently, we like to take tangents, but
well, you know what? The movies, the podcast is about movies. We watch the movie, we talk about the movie, but at the same time, if you can't relate to the shit that's going on in that time period of the movie, what's the point of talking about it?
Yeah. I personally listen to a lot of podcasts, and I don't really care when they go off on tangents because...
No, it's organic.
Exactly, that's what I was about to say. It's like, it's just 2 people talking, right? What you're doing is you're listening to 2 people just having a organic conversation. What happens, what they talk about. They have a idea about where they're going, but if they go off, it's okay.
Yeah.
And that's the problem in my mind right now with just like, media and stuff like that. It's just everything is these short little snippet sound bites. Yeah. I want to hear the actual thought process of how one person got from here to there, even if it goes off in different tangents. That's kind of how humans work. We don't always just go from point A to point B. We have to travel around a little bit, get different ideas, and get a feel for what we're thinking.
Yeah. Plus, we don't claim this to be a review show.
No, we're not perfect.
Yeah.
from it. We're just 2 guys that are having fun, talking about movies that we watch, and if other people like to listen to it, then listen to it. Awesome.
Yeah, and if you don't, fuck off.
Yeah, don't listen to it. We don't care.
Anchor doesn't care either. They are our sponsor, and
Anchor
they love us.
Is awesome. And I gotta say, the commercial that you did for Anchor was
Thank you.
Freaking awesome.
Thank you.
It was great.
Thank you. So let's get into the taglines.
Okay.
The taglines of this movie. And I figured, you know what I found out, which is really funny, is like, I've been using IMDb and all this shit before for show notes on my phone. Don't ever use your phone to do show notes on IMDb. There is so many options that aren't shown on the phone part of the IMDb that are on the actual computer
Really?
part. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
And I found things a million times easier than me trying to search for it on my phone.
So if you go on their actual website on like a PC or like
Yeah.
a laptop or something?
Yeah. I was like, oh my God.
That doesn't make sense though. Like, if you're going to have a website, you should be able to have it mobile access.
It's bad
in this
UI.
day and age.
It's
It's like, I would say 50% of people surfing the web are on their phone.
Well, look at IMDb. It's fucking ancient. It's bad UI design. They just it's people that are. I don't even know what the fuck IMDb. How is it still popular? I don't know. Anyway, the taglines: "Goodbye, reality. Welcome, virtual reality."
Okay.
That is really bad.
Dumb.
That's like something. That's something I would have seen on like a pop-up arcade.
Yeah.
You know, back in the day.
It definitely sounds commercial-ish.
The second one, it's interactive and state-of-the-art. It's not just a game, it's murder.
Okay, that's dumb too.
Really too fucking long.
Yeah.
Next one, wanna play? I dare you. Still not very good, but it makes
At
sense
least
for the
it's
movie.
short.
It makes sense for the movie at least.
Yeah.
This one doesn't make sense to me. An interactive trip to hell.
Yeah, hell. That doesn't make sense.
What
at
are we
all.
in Hellraiser 2?
Yeah, what are you trying to do? We're going to tear your soul apart in video games.
And then the last one, game over. You lose. I don't like that one either.
Dumb too, because
It's like, we're not in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. Yeah, and also nobody lost necessarily in this, right? Like he completed the whole game.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think that's what the trickster says at the very end. Or what Edward Furlong says, actually, to the trickster.
Yeah, he says you lose, yeah.
Yeah, game over, you lose. Bad tags.
Yeah.
Bad tag.
Awful. That's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Those are all of them?
Those are all of them.
That's pretty bad. That's, yeah. Well, I mean, if I had to make a tagline for the movie, I don't think I could. Honestly, I don't know what I would say necessarily.
I'd be like, this isn't a game. Or something like that.
Yeah.
That's better than you're in hell or some bullshit like
that. The hell
that.
one was really dumb. Because there's no hell on Earth in this movie at all.
No.
It's not scary. It's not.
Or, how about this one? Just off the top of my head. This game is murder. That's
there you
super
go. That's
easy.
Way better.
That's off the top of my head just now.
That is way better. Like, I was okay, that's alright. This game is murder. Okay, that's good. That's fine.
I don't know. I should be working for Hollywood. Or Hollywood, you need to hire me.
Yeah.
You need to hire us both. You need to hire this podcast.
We don't got the connections for that.
No, we don't. So you want to hear a fun fact about this movie?
I do want to hear a fun fact.
So John Flynn, the guy that directed and made this movie, he did not like Edward Furlong.
No?
No.
I can see why.
No, he really didn't like him. Really didn't.
He's not really that great of an actor.
No, you're right. I agree, because I've seen other movies he's been in. He's trash.
Yeah, he's not really a good actor at all. I mean, he's passable for sure, but like he's not like somebody that you go, wow, he's a great actor. Like Leonardo DiCaprio. I don't really like the guy that much, but
Great actor.
he's a pretty good actor.
The guy that Elijah Wood,
Yeah, even him. Yeah.
Macaulay Culkin,
Yep.
all kid actors from his same genre.
Yeah.
Great actors. Edward, sorry.
Yeah, you can really tell it too when he gets upset. Like when he tries to act upset, it doesn't really come off as upset. It's more of like this undertoned, like raising your voice. That's all.
You know what's the sad thing? The thing I think is the most sad about Edward Furlong is that I feel like he, out of Macaulay Culkin, Elijah Wood, all the other people, I feel like he fell into the trap of like believing he was as cool as the character he portrayed.
Yeah.
Like Terminator 2, he thought he was cool John Connor.
Right, and he didn't make the movie. The movie is what made him, right? Mm-hmm. And that's actually rare in a way, because a lot of times the actors make the movie. Like if it wasn't for the actors, the movie.
If Arnold Schwarzenegger wasn't in Terminator.
Yeah, I feel like Terminator 2 was good in spite of him. Like he wasn't that great, but the movie was so good that it covered up his flaws, you know.
Yeah, that's the thing about when I go back to watch Terminator 2. The only part that annoys me are the parts where his squeaky voice.
Yes, his squeaky voice. Oh, that bugs me so much.
Yeah.
But still, like I said, the movie
That might not,
overshadows it.
I don't know if that annoys chicks as much. Maybe it's because they weren't a boy going through puberty, and then you like, your voice starts getting all fucked up, and everyone like thinks you're stupid.
Yeah, and then sometimes you're afraid to speak because you're like, is my voice going to crack and I'm going to be an idiot?
Yep. Everyone's going to look at you and laugh in class.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that just brings back PTSD for all boys.
The squeaky voice, man. No, it was not a fun period.
No. Anyway, John Flynn, when asked about this movie, later recalled the main interest for him was the trickster character.
I see that.
A carnivorous Alice Cooper lookalike entity.
Ah, they actually reference Alice Cooper in this movie too.
He's also on the fridge.
He is on the fridge, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you know Alice Cooper is a Christian now?
What?
Yeah. Alice Cooper is a Christian. He does Christian music now. I'm serious.
No, you're not.
I'm totally serious. Look it up. What do I say about that? I don't know.
Anyway, John Flynn says the trickster was the core of the movie that attracted him to the script.
Yeah.
Edward Furlong was a 15-year-old kid who couldn't act. You had to slap him awake every morning. I don't want to get into knocking people, but I was not a big fan of Edward Furlong.
I could totally see that.
Now, I wonder if he was 15, so I wonder if he was already, because everyone knows Edward Furlong has like this huge history with drug abuse.
Him and every other Hollywood child star.
Yeah, but you look at Macaulay Culkin, he made all those movies, The Good Son, the Home Alone series, all that stuff, and he did get into drugs, got out of it. He's successful now.
He's actually a really cool guy. Like, when you hear him on, I heard him on the Joe Rogan podcast and stuff like that. He sounds like a really cool guy, actually.
Yeah, I've seen him on Angry Video Game Nerd episodes on YouTube.
Wow. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He doesn't seem, like, stuck up. Like, he doesn't seem like...
No. He's super down to earth.
Yeah, he seems really down to earth. And he's had, like, a lot of, like, physical issues that have, like, just kind of really seemed to make him more down to earth. To be like, you know, money isn't all the thing that makes a person. The way you act and who you are is more.
Yeah. If you've never seen the Angry Video Game Nerd episode where he plays his Super Nintendo games based off the movies of Home Alone, watch it. Yeah. It's fucking hilarious.
I like Angry Video Game Nerd.
Why did they do this to me? Like he didn't even know that these games were made off of his likeness. Because they are absolute shit.
That's funny.
But Edward Furlong has this huge, huge history of drug abuse, and the thing is, I don't know if he's still on drugs today, but the way he looks and the way he acts, I mean, I could almost see him being like a Philip Seymour Hoffman that never got clean. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Which he died. Right?
Yeah, he's dead.
Because of that drugs.
But when the fucking new Terminator movie came out, which is like 1 million of them now, but that last Terminator movie, they approached him to be in it. He could have fucking cleaned his life up. He's like, holy shit, they still want me for Terminator?
Yeah.
I could have cleaned his life up, could have got fucking trained. He's a fucking Hollywood actor. He might not be an A actor no more. But still, he has enough of connections to get in fucking shape for the movie. He didn't even fucking do it. All he did was do facial capture animation so they could computer animate him in the fucking movie.
And that's awful. Yeah.
Like, it blows my mind that someone would do that, but I've also not ever been addicted to drugs. So.
Yeah, well, drugs can fuck you up. But there's usually a more underlying problem than just the drugs.
Yeah.
But
you look at other actors of that time, even actors that were more popular and into drugs. Like Corey Feldman from fucking Lost Boys, The Goonies.
Yeah.
Molested by fucking Michael Jackson. I mean, supposedly.
Wouldn't be surprised.
He's come out of it completely. You know? He writes books and he still makes movies. Edward Furlong is still kind of lost in the 90s.
Yeah,
he's a relic of the 90s that's like still there.
Like I said, like I don't know anything he's done when he became an adult. Like,
which sucks because
doing?
I would love to see him in a Terminator movie. I would have loved to see him get into a Terminator movie, get fucking ripped.
He was John Connor, right?
Yeah, he's John Connor. John Connor, the fucking savior of humanity.
The basic, that's who the whole series is about, right? Saving John Connor. So it'd be cool to see him as John Connor. That would be cool.
I would have loved to see him get ripped like fucking Christian Bale did in fucking that Terminator Salvation movie that he was in, where he played John Connor.
Yeah, all these other actors do it, right?
Dude, Christian Bale out of anyone can do everything.
300 pounds and then lose it for the next movie.
Or where he fucking plays that one movie, The Machinist, where he lost all fucking weight.
A ton of weight, yeah.
Yeah, he looked like a fucking World War II hostage, where they had no anything.
That's the difference, though. That's where you like take it seriously. You know,
yeah.
That's your passion.
That's what I'm thinking. It's like Edward Furlong.
Passion's incredible.
Like the John Connor mentality of that movie was like his thing, and he never left it.
Maybe that's the bad thing about becoming a child star, though, is that you haven't really, like when you're an adult and you've had to really, really fucking work. Yeah. Like you personally have had to work with it. Not when you're a child star. I feel like your parents do a lot of the work for you almost, and they kind of train you on how to do it and stuff. But your parents,
fuck you.
Yeah, yeah. The parents are doing a lot of the negotiating and all that stuff. But when you're an adult, I feel like, that's on you. That's everything on you. And it's more serious. So if you don't have that passion, it probably won't, pan out very much. If you're a kid, it might. I don't know, man.
But he's older than us.
I don't know what I'm talking about anymore.
I don't know either. He's older than us. That's all I know.
Yeah.
When you're approaching your mid to late 30s, you don't got your shit together. I don't think you're ever going to get it together.
Yeah, well, fuck Edward Furlong. Talking about somebody else.
It's just sad because we could have seen him in movies, even if they weren't good movies. We would have seen him in something.
Yeah, I'm glad we didn't, though, because honestly, I don't like him. As far as his acting, he's just like...
You know what's weird? You look at him and you look at pictures of him today, his face never changes.
Oh, really?
Like when you look at pictures of yourself when you're younger and you're like...
Michael J. Fox, that's another that's an actor that I feel never ages. Like, I look at him when he's young and older, and there's not that much difference. No?
Michael J... I don't want to say anything bad about Michael J. Fox because he's fucked up.
He's got Parkinson's.
Yeah. He's fucked up.
Yeah.
I agree he still looks like Michael J. Fox.
Yeah.
But this dude, his face never fucking changed. Never changed besides him looking like he's gotten fat. That's it. That's it, though. He looks the same. Like, I can't even imagine him looking like he would be jacked.
Let's start a petition to start another Edward Furlong movie.
Where he gets jacked. And in shape.
That'd be cool.
I'd like to see him get in shape to do a Terminator movie. If they rebooted the whole fucking thing.
Alright, so we gotta do it just so Clint can look at Edward Furlong's body.
That's not what I'm saying I want to see.
I feel like it is.
It's not. I just want to see... I want to see him, appreciate what he has. If I was a washed-up actor from the 90s, and a studio's like, hey, remember that fucking movie you were big in 90-something?
Yeah.
And it's 2020? I'm like, yeah. Well, we're going to pay you to work out. We're going to get you personal trainers. You're going to eat right. And you're going to get jacked. Like, fuck yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Not the shit that I'm doing right now where I'm having to work out myself and not get anything.
Eating ho-hos and milk.
Oh, shit. So, we both agree that the movie is good.
As far as the movie goes, yes. I wouldn't say that it's a good horror movie because I don't think it's really a horror movie.
No, it's not a horror movie. I didn't even grow up watching this movie. I didn't even know... I think that I might have saw this as a kid on TV, but it's one of those movies that I forgot about.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was, a funny story, I was reminded about this movie from a...
I just farted.
That's alright. Beer does that to you too, sometimes. I farted out of my mouth.
Smells a lot better.
You know what I've noticed by listening back to these podcasts?
What?
Dude, I sound... Did you ever watch that movie, or that TV show, Wacky Racers?
Wacky Racers?
Yeah.
That was a video game.
Oh, it was
like the shark.
It was based off the TV show, though, with the dog.
Dog.
And the dog's always like...
I don't remember that. But I remember that in Wacky Racers there was like a shark that had like this go-kart, and then there was like... Yeah.
Yeah, there's the dog, though.
Me and Nathan used to play that all the time on the computer. I didn't know it was a show.
Yeah, it was a show.
Oh, interesting.
Well, there's a dog that always laughs. And whenever the dog laughs, it's always like that wheezy laugh like I always do. And I'm like, dude, I sound like the fucking dog from Wacky Racers
I haven't
when I
noticed
laugh.
that.
Well, I noticed that. I was like, man, that's so weird. I wonder why I laugh like that. I don't know.
We're always more critical about our own self and others.
But it's always like... That's what the dog does in the thing when he's laughing because he fucked someone's shit up.
Okay.
Anyway. So do you want... Do you want to hear about someone else's review of this movie?
Yeah, let's hear it.
So, this person gave them a 1 out of 5.
Oh, that's
and
tough.
this was an Amazon customer. And the thing is that this person
we gotta take it seriously,
was a pussy. And they didn't even leave their name on here, like other reviews have. They just left it as anonymous. Their title is Garbage.
Mm. Normally I would laugh at that. I love those one-word reviews, but I don't know. Garbage for
Garbage.
This? No.
And this was in the year 2000, so we're talking about a 21-year-old review. Please, period. For me, period. Capital letters now. Do not watch this film, period. I just wasted an hour and a half of my life that could have been spent cleaning my navel.
Your navel?
Yeah, his navel. Or her navel.
Well, I hope it's a her navel. I want a picture of his navel.
That was the funniest review I could find on this. Because literally, every review other than this one are good. They're like us. They're like, wow, this movie's actually not bad.
It's entertaining.
I was entertained by it. The Trickster's fucking cool.
Trickster's cool. And like we said earlier, it's just like everything that you look at is cool too, right? His whole room is freaking cool. When you look at anything that's going on, it's just like the houses are cool, the scenery's cool, like the movie.
It's very nostalgia filled too.
Yeah, definitely.
And the Trickster is like a mix between... He's like Alice Cooper and Rufio.
Yeah.
And I like how he makes fun of Edward Furlong's music, like on his CD rack.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, Michael. And he just like throws the CDs across the
room.
room.
You know what's awesome? Is the music he puts on is fucking Primus. I love Primus. I'm a bass player. Primus is like the best bass player ever, basically. Yeah. And he puts on Primus, and I was just like, oh shit, that's fucking cool.
He's got good taste.
Yeah. And they have White Snake like on the party that's going on. Not White Snake.
White Zombie.
White Zombie, sorry. Yeah.
But I think it's funny too because like Edward Furlong's room has like posters of Metallica and like Def Leppard and shit in it.
Yeah.
And so he's like almost, I don't know if he's looking at those CDs. You don't get the CDs. He's almost like shitting on those. Which is funny.
That's kind of in the same genre of like that whole time period, right? Like,
yeah.
Rob Zombie, Metallica, Primus. Like
I think that's why the Trickster's so cool because he has a fucking personality. He's not just a monster. He's not just a monster that just has like.
That's what we were talking about. Like he is like an imaginary friend, like almost like he knows him, and that's what we were commenting on earlier too. Is like when he appears and disappears, when he comes out of the TV. Like, Michael or Edward Furlong isn't surprised at all. And that's, like, kind of goes to the whole, like, imaginary friend type thing, too, right? Like, you're not surprised that they're there because they're your friend or whatever. Or it might not necessarily even be a friend as in the sense of, like, you get along with them, but it's just, like, this imaginary person, this imaginary mischief maker that comes around.
let's also talk about the premise of the video game.
The video game? Oh, the brain scan?
The premise of the video game Brain Scan is that he's in a virtual reality world where he's committing murder. At least he thinks in the first disc out of 4. After the first disc, Edward Furlong or Michael knows that it's not a game. It's not a game.
The murder has actually happened. And the foot is in his fucking freezer of the guy he killed. Somehow with a cake knife cut a guy's foot off. Yeah, I would like to see that. I mean, not literally, but yeah.
So, with that being set up, knowing that he knows that he could kill these people and that he was consciously doing it, why the fuck did in Disc 2 he does it again? And not only does he do it again, he kills his supposed best friend.
Best buddies.
Yeah. Best buddies for life.
Buddies forever. That's what it was. Buddies forever, not best buddy. It was buddies forever.
Dude, that is the kid in high school or even in middle school. Dude, I hated his best friend. That was the kid that would, in your group of friends, there's always one kid that doesn't get the message that nobody wants to hang around you. But he is a clinger.
The clingers.
He just... you know when you had a 3-hole punch? Oh, man.
3-hole punch.
I'm dating myself here. You know, the 3-hole punch for your fucking paper?
Oh, yeah. Well, I still use those. I have one at my house.
So, you know, when you 3-hole punch a paper and the fucking piece of paper doesn't fall off? The fucking clinger. You know? They hang on.
Yeah.
And, that's what this kid was to me. It was like, you're just reminding me of that kid in the group that was like, dude, no one wants to hang out with you. The shit you're saying, I don't like what you're saying.
Yeah, you're so fucking annoying.
Yeah. Like, I don't like sounding like a dickhead, but, dude, we all grew up in middle school and high school. There's that kid in your group.
And the unfortunate part is if you're sitting there thinking, I don't know what he's talking about, it's probably you.
Yeah. And it's... I don't even think I'm being rude when I'm saying the whole clinger thing, because it's not like I went out of my way to be rude to him.
Yeah.
I wasn't like, dude...
I don't think I was ever rude to really many people.
Yeah, it's like... Well, I can't say that, but...
Well, you're a little bit more of a dick than me.
I am an asshole. I am an asshole. But...
Sometimes.
I laugh because it's true. But no, I'm just an asshole, dude. I did I did some mean things to kids.
Yeah, the little white poop thing that got me.
Dude, I'm not talking about that story.
Oh man, you guys are missing out. Then I thought I was going to go into it.
No, I'm not talking about that story. I'm not talking about that one yet. But there's for like one example of a thing I look back on in high school, my sophomore year. I look back on it and I'm like, man, that's kind of mean I did that. And every morning in high school, we would all sit at this one table in the lunchroom before school started. And I was always fucking tired. I had to walk to school. My parents were kind of shitty, so I was always in a bad fucking mood. Always. For some reason, this one kid, I don't know why he was at our table, came over and started yelling at us. Mm-hmm. I don't know what even happened at that point. I don't know what happened. Someone had said something to him or pissed him off in some way. But I was sitting at the end of the table, and he came up to that end of the table and started decided to start yelling in my direction. Okay. And I was eating a bagel, a blueberry bagel.
Sounds delicious.
And I didn't cook my bagels or anything.
No?
I just bought the fucking bagel and had the whipped cream.
Cream cheese.
Cream cheese.
Yeah, gotta have cream cheese on a bagel.
And
tastes better when it's toasted, though.
Yeah, it does. And I was spooning it out with the knife, the plastic knife that you have at school.
Yeah.
and I don't know, I just wasn't having it that morning. And I just said, "Shut up," to the kid.
Yeah.
And I threw the knife with the cream cheese at him. And it stuck perfectly to his cheek.
That's hilarious.
But this is where the part where I felt bad, because it's like one of those things, you're almost tired and you're mad, and you just kind of don't think what you're doing.
Yeah.
But then you do something, and it's like one of those one-in-a-lifetime chances that it was something like that would happen.
Yeah.
And then everyone at the table just laughs at the kid.
So the kid's already pissed off, and then
Yeah.
he gets fucked over by you.
Yeah. Well, you shouldn't be yelling in my fucking ear.
Yeah, I agree
But
with you.
that's just one of the things that happened in high school. I don't know. There's so many weird stories like that. But, yeah, as far as the dog poop story is concerned, I'm not talking about that one.
Well, one of these days, maybe we'll get you to talk about that.
Yeah. Yeah. Come on. I know you did something at least.
What, in high school?
Yeah.
I can't, remember, something horrible that I did. See, I was a middle child, so, I was the one getting picked on most of my life, so, I didn't really want to reciprocate that being picked on to other people.
I never picked on kids.
Okay.
The poop story is not me picking on someone.
What is it, then?
That's more revenge.
Revenge. For being annoyed.
Well,
we can't talk about that. We're not going to tell the story. We're not going to talk about it vaguely to everybody else. So that you know what's
this
going
is like...
No, but, my brother, would always, beat the shit out of me. And, I was the younger one. I was way smaller than my brother by probably, 100 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
So he, picked me up and then throw me across the room and stuff so I grew up getting picked on and beat up by my brother. And I'm not saying that out of the grr. I actually appreciate it because it made me a stronger person, way stronger person. And I honestly when I met people that could kick my ass and stuff like that, I was never afraid of them.
Yeah.
Because I knew that I could take the beating,
Yeah.
And that's probably why I never really got in very many fights, is because people got that vibe where I wasn't scared of them. Even if they could kick my ass, I wasn't scared to get my ass kicked, and that's...
Well, it's like a laughing scenario. It's like, you're not proving anything.
Yeah, exactly. It was just all right, you want to fight? We'll fight, whatever. But, maybe I will get my ass kicked, maybe I won't, but I'll get my punches in, and you'll not feel good either. And usually bullies and people like that aren't used to getting hit, and they don't like getting hit.
What I've noticed...
somebody that will hit them...
That's
whether
what I've
or not
noticed.
they will lose or not, and they'll back
I've
off.
always noticed that people that bully people, go out of their way to pick on someone and fuck with them, are the kids that don't actually want to get into fights.
Yeah, exactly. Bullies are honestly the biggest pussies in the world.
They go after the smallest person.
Yeah, and they kind of do that to ward off everybody else. Look what I can do to other people, right?
Yeah.
But for me, it was I don't care what you can do to me.
You don't see
I
those
know
kids
that
picking
I can,
on the football players.
Yeah, I could eventually do some damage to you. You're going to take damage. I know I'm going to take damage, but I'm used to it. I'm cool with that. So let's go, whatever. Yeah. And then that would always, kind of translate to nothing happening. So that's why I kind of contribute that me growing up, getting beat up and, picked on by my brother actually helped me out in the long run. So I don't like looking on it as a bad thing. I don't even know how that
I never picked on my brother, which is weird. Because I was the oldest kid. I never did that shit to my brother. There's only a few times ever that I can even remember where me and my brother would actually fist fight each other. And him being 5 years younger than me, it was just
it wasn't a fight.
It wasn't a fight. It'd be you throw a couple things, but that's it. That's it. It wouldn't be hey, you're a faggot kind of thing.
Yeah.
So.
Now you're going to get us kicked off the podcast now. God damn. Now we're fucking homophobes.
I shouldn't be saying that word?
I don't know. I feel like that's
that was a word thrown around my house a lot.
All the time. Dude, when I was growing up, it was a normal word, and it didn't necessarily mean
Dude, my parents called us that.
Really?
All the time.
Oh, that's kind of bad. Never had my parents call me that.
Oh, dude. I thought that was normal until...
No, that's not normal.
Okay, well, that explains why a lot of kids didn't allow to come back to our house. So... Dude, we are such on an awful...
Dude, we haven't talked about Brainscan for the last 15 minutes.
Okay. But the thing is, we like this movie.
We do.
It's not.
Definitely.
It's not Hellraiser 2.
Thank God it's not Hellraiser 2. And that's, I think, why we're going off on tangents. I feel like Hellraiser 2, we actually were so annoyed about that we stuck on the subject of just like, this is not...
Disappointment?
Yeah, disappointment and going on like that. Whereas this, we're just like, it's kind of like when you're at a party and things are happening and you're having fun, things, go in different directions.
And, like I said, this is like very nostalgia-filled. This kind of like brings you back to the 90s when we were this age. We were this fucking age.
Yeah, the flannels everywhere.
This part was also weird.
This is very weird.
Like, this part didn't make sense either.
There's a few parts in the movie that didn't quite make sense.
And I think we were in agreement. We were both annoyed that his friend wasn't dead anymore.
Yeah, because his friend is basically a 15-year-old heroin addict.
Like, have you seen Fright Night, the original?
I don't think I have, no.
With the vampire? Okay. Shit, dude.
Told you, man. I haven't seen any. If you guys haven't listened to this podcast, I really haven't watched any horror movies before. Not too many. And then Clint has watched a whole lot. So
I know, but I can't, like, judge to know exactly what you've seen and haven't seen.
I would say most horror movies, unless they're, like, the extremely popular ones, Friday the 13th.
Which you still haven't seen all of those.
I've seen the first one. Friday the 13th. No.
Jason's not even in that one.
I'm sorry. I didn't see Friday the 13th. I don't know what I'm talking about. I saw Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, my God.
So I haven't actually...
Dude, we should do a marathon of all 10 movies.
Oh, shit.
I own them
That would
all.
be cool. Okay, we could devote a whole day, watch all 10 movies, and do a podcast at the end of it. Dude, that would be crazy.
1 to X, and then Freddy versus Jason at the end.
I don't know if we could pay attention for that long, though.
I've done it.
That'd be tough. Because if you're watching 10 movies, you're talking about a full day. That's like 20 hours.
But I've done it. No. The Jason movies are like an hour and 15 minutes apiece.
Really? Alright, well still, that's like...
It's not the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Which, I don't know why I can't...
15 hours.
I can't get anyone to ever want to watch all 3 of those in a row.
What, the Lord of the Rings?
Yeah.
I'd do it.
Dude.
I like the Lord of the Rings.
But the unedited versions, it's like, it goes from 9 hours to like 13.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Had you seen all the Hobbit ones too? Then you're adding like another like...
The Hobbit ones?
Yeah, all the Hobbit movies too.
Oh, I see what you're saying, yeah.
So it's like 20...
you'd have to watch the Hobbit and then
it's like 20
Lord of the
hours
Rings
or some
ones.
shit.
Yeah, that's
anyway.
a long time.
Wow. So let's get into the next big review on here, the last review.
Okay.
Friend of the show, Robert Ebert.
Ebert, we love you, man.
Yeah. Robert Ebert. Chicago Sun-Times.
Keep eating those cheeseburgers.
No, that was Siskel.
Oh, okay.
The fat fuck. He's dead.
He's already dead. There you go. Cheeseburgers.
Yep. I love cheeseburgers.
Me too.
Bacon cheeseburgers.
Oh.
Fuck.
Like real bacon, the crispy stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Not that fake ass
not
shit.
Not the freaking fast food bacon. Nuh-uh. Good bacon. Oh my god. Put that on a burger. It's delicious. Oh, put that in the burger.
Peppered bacon?
Break it up. Put it in the burger. Throw a little cheese in there.
Have you eaten a burger that has cheese cooked in the middle?
Yeah.
It's fucking good.
I think you made it for me, actually.
Okay, maybe I did. So Roger Ebert, friend of the show,
Friend of the show,
says in 2001, his review, Brainscan is interesting, not so much because of the plot, the murders, and the trickster, as because of its portrait of a teenage boy, living at one removed from the world.
I didn't get that from the movie at all.
I don't either. So this, for me, I feel like this is another guy who, like we said, should not be reviewing horror movies. And also, this is another mixture with his old man persona. Doesn't understand the world of video games either.
Yeah, it makes sense.
He looked at this whole virtual reality, living in his room, playing a video game.
I think he's looking too deep into it, right? Like, living at one world. Because he was home alone.
He's isolated.
Is that what it is? Is like...
I agree that it was really fucking stupid for him not to get with that chick.
Oh my god.
Like, we yelled at him throughout the movie.
Yeah. truth, I've never had a girl just throw herself at me like that girl was just like throwing herself.
I mean,
at
I've
me.
had a chick throw herself at me, but I've never had it to where she's coming to my house.
That's what I'm talking about, man. Like, just come to your house and.
Or
Well, first of all, she's in the window showing herself to you, and then she is coming to your house constantly. It's like, come on, how are you not going to give what is needed there? She's
basically begging for you to fuck her, and you don't do it.
I wasn't going to say that, but yes.
I love how you're like the clean one.
I'm a lot less.
Brett's not the clean one in real life. Okay,
That's what I was about to say. Like, yeah, right here I'm kind of clean because when it comes out to like put it down to
dude,
the
your
world,
mom's not going to listen to this.
I know that, but that's just how I am. It's just like that's how I was raised. If you're going to talk to other people, you'd be, like this, and this, and then usually that's why it takes me a long time to warm up to people.
Yeah,
because I won't really show myself or be
show
me.
Yourself, yeah.
Unless I know who you are.
Shouldn't be getting naked in front of people, probably.
Yeah. Hopefully not. The last police told me not to do that anymore. So. Yeah, but anyways, like we were saying, I forgot what we were saying. Oh yeah, the girl. Yeah, it was just bugging the crap out of me that he wasn't taking.
Doing what needed to be done.
Hints, I'm going to say hints.
It makes me mad that he was like, so. He's either so like just completely out there where he doesn't understand the vibe she's throwing out, but yet he's master of stealth.
Yeah, he totally is.
Some stuff that would put Metal Gear Solid to shame. A cop standing right above him, showing a flashlight in the open bush.
If there's some ivy, he's got it down, man. You cannot see Edward Furlong. He's hidden like beyond anything. He's the dirt basically.
Yeah. As soon as he hit the ground, his stealth mode was his stealth perk was 100.
Yep. With the tributes, all the way up.
His attribute, his sex appeal, like I said, was 0.
Yeah. But all in all, pretty good movie, right?
I think it is a movie that if you have never seen it or haven't seen it in a long time, it's a must-watch.
Yeah,
a must-watch. And especially if you were a kid in that time era where you're going to understand and appreciate more seeing fucking floppy drive disc computers.
It's awesome. I love that because, I grew up where floppy drives, the big ones, I forgot what those were called, but they were like, what was that, like almost 6 inches across?
Yeah, it was you either had the Apple II or like the IBM.
Yeah, because there was the smaller floppies and the bigger. The smaller floppies weren't actually floppy; they were actually sturdy, right?
Yeah.
And then the bigger floppies that were actually floppy, and you'd have to have like 6 or 7 of those for like one program, basically. Mm-hmm. And I remember that, just like putting those in, and then you would put that thing down that actually had the little, I don't know what you call that.
Yeah, there was like an actual like
little
hook
knob
thing.
Yeah, you would click it in there, and then like you would hear it reading. It would, make all this noise and stuff. I remember that. It was so watching that and having all that stuff in that movie was just like bring back a lot of memories back in the day. Like
when we had computer class, like when I was, I don't know, 2nd grade or whatever. Like the computers were all those games.
Yeah,
and
they were all Apples too.
And they were all the command text box. You'd have to do command. Walk.
Yeah. That's what the King's Quest games were,
Yeah. Oregon Trail.
Pick up key. Oregon Trail, yeah. You have dysentery.
And then, like, when CDs came out.
That was huge.
Like PlayStation.
Yeah. You didn't need all those floppies anymore. You could take one CD and it would replace, like, 10 floppy disks. It was great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Doom.
Very, very
Doom. The original Doom game was all, like, on floppy, and it was like 9 floppies.
Yeah.
And then when Doom came out, it was on 1 CD on PlayStation.
Yep. Which is an awesome game, too. Doom was great.
Still is great. I play it still when I get drunk.
It's alright. I'm not
Doom 2 is better.
Not huge into first-person shooters anymore, but...
You should.
Doom is pretty good.
You should get into. You should play Doom Eternal.
Yeah, that actually looked pretty cool.
It is.
I've seen you play it a little
sick.
bit and seen some commercials. It looks pretty cool, actually.
It's sick.
I saw one. I forgot where I saw it, but some dudes were playing it on 1,000 FPS, frames per second.
Mm-hmm.
They were playing Doom Eternal on that, and they had to keep on pouring this liquid nitrogen
To keep the shit from heating up.
Yeah, so they were playing on 1,000 FPS, and they kept on having to pour all this.
You're gonna have to show me
nitrogen.
that.
Yeah,
That sounds hilarious.
It's pretty funny. Yeah,
because when the Doom 2016 came out and it was on PS4, dude, and I would stream it. It sounded like my PS4 was gonna have a nuclear meltdown. It was like you could audibly hear it in the microphone as I was playing. Like, do you guys hear that? And all you're hearing is,
yeah, I know what you're talking about. My computer does that sometimes.
Uh-oh. Dude, my computer does that sometimes now when I'm editing.
Oh, really?
It's that old.
Well, that's an old one right there. That's almost 10 years old.
Dude, it's 2013.
Yeah, that's 8 years old.
Yeah.
That's like ancient for computers.
I know. That's what I did the original YouTube videos on.
Yeah,
I'm doing them still.
You need to get another one.
Yeah.
Eventually. It just costs a lot of money.
Yeah. Money in which we can maybe afford if you guys want to donate to our cause.
Yeah, buy our calendar. It's us naked, so it's wonderful.
Yes, there's a tasteful spread in February's spread where Brett's wearing the Jason Voorhees mask over his junk.
Yeah. And then there's one special one where it's just on my face and nothing else, so that's a pleasure.
The December one's a real treat.
Mm-hmm. Brett's
bent over, and there's the Freddy Krueger glow up his,
Santa sack.
Anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode because we both enjoyed this movie.
Yeah, definitely.
We definitely went on a lot of different directions with this, but I think it's because this movie is so... It is a time period almost piece.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's kind of what spurred off the kind of tangents and stuff is we saw different things in the movie that made us think about that time period, and then we would talk about different things that reminded us of that,
It dusted off a lot of shit that I had forgotten about. Not just when I did the research and I was like, oh my god, these PC games I forgot I played. It was just that you're seeing shit that I haven't seen in 20 plus years.
Yeah.
And it just dusts off memories of being in fucking elementary school and your thoughts of, wow, this is what technology is in the future, and...
Still better than Bixby, apparently. If anybody of you have a Galaxy out there, what do you call that? The AI in this movie.
Yeah, it's Igor.
The voice recognition in this movie is way better than Bixby is on the
It's better than
Android.
Siri on my iPhone.
I feel like Siri's a lot better than the Bixby, but whatever.
Why is it Bixby? Is it like a...
It's the company that Samsung bought.
Is it Australian?
The original Samsung voice recognition was so bad that Samsung had to go out and buy a company for the voice recognition AI. And this is what we get. That's how.
Dude, I'm going to test my phone right now to see if it can do exactly what Edward Furlong's did, where it says "Don't take calls," like block calls.
Mm-hmm.
Ready? Hey Siri. Block calls.
You'll need to unlock your iPhone first.
She's Australian, by the way.
Apparently.
I like Australian accent.
I found at least 25 calls. A call from Nathan Dayton at 6:53 p.m.
No, I want...
Four
No,
calls
Siri,
out of
stupid. I said I want you to block calls, stupid. Don't... Siri. Hey, Siri. Dumb bitch.
So it's not just me.
Hey, Siri.
Mm-hmm.
Do not take any more calls tonight.
You'll need to unlock your iPhone
Yo,
first.
you...
I didn't find any calls.
Fuck you,
You're
Siri.
fucking retarded.
Yeah. Remember when we were driving that one time and I was fucking yelling at my phone?
Just to play a song.
Yeah, that's because I had literally spent an hour before that talking
You asked it to play Chop Suey or something.
Yeah, just a random... Yeah.
No, there are no sushi restaurants around here.
God damn, man. You pay $1,000 and this is what we get.
Siri, can you play Chop Suey? Hey, Siri. Hey, Siri.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Siri!
Hi, Forrest.
Can you play Chop Suey? Can you play Chop Suey? She's just ignoring me now.
Siri. She's a typical female.
All females ignore me. Anyway, Brainscan, episode 5. Dude, 5 weeks.
5 weeks, 5 podcasts, when I thought we were doing this bi-weekly.
Now,
pretty good.
This is the part where I'm going to put in the timestamp for our YouTube audience, because I can't do it on the podcast, or on the on iTunes, of when to fast forward to, but we have a little bit of shit to talk about here.
Oh, okay, so we're going to get into it. All right, let's do it.
And I have some shit I really, really found interesting this week. Well, our podcast, we recorded our first episode the last week of December.
Yeah.
We recorded the podcast, and I think I called you even like a week or two before that just to discuss recording this podcast.
Yeah.
And first episode, we even have a fucking name. We didn't have a fucking name on our
You're
first
right,
episode.
we didn't. We just were we were actually spitballing names on the podcast.
And then we came up with Due by Midnight for the obvious reasons of the Blockbuster video thing that we talked about.
Right.
And I made the fucking website. I spent the day doing all the shit to get the shit for the website, the social media, all of our stuff for our podcast up. And then the other day, when I get the notification that the 2-week verification process had finally gone through for iTunes, I look it up. I see our podcast up there. And then what did I see underneath our podcast? Another podcast with our fucking name underneath it.
Due by Midnight. Word for word.
Due by Midnight, word for word, did not fucking exist before. You know why? Because me and Brett have integrity. We have integrity and we do not plagiarize. When me and Brett were spitballing names back and forth and we were looking up names like, well, maybe this name will work, maybe this name will work. First thing I did, look on fucking iTunes to see if the name was fucking already taken.
Does it already exist?
Does it
like
exist?
You're going for a band name and you're wondering if any other band has that, right?
Right. Well, I look at it, one episode of this other podcast, and it was recorded last week.
So by then we've had, what, 4?
We're
4 weeks
we're
then?
planning on
We're
our
a
5th
month
episode
ahead
already.
almost.
Yeah. And so I look up this podcast guy that created this stuff, and I look up his website that he also registered with our same name, but doesn't own the actual domain. He owns...
Because you do, or we do, right?
Yeah, we do. We own the actual duebymidnight.com, which is the real domain for our podcast. He owns the dashed version. What if you look online of what copyright is, and if we were to somehow pursue this, which we're not going to, we don't have the money to do stupid shit like that, or time. But it says, if you have a website that has dashes in your name, you don't own that shit.
Really?
It does. It does say that.
Interesting.
So, being diplomatic about this, maybe this guy just didn't know.
Reasonable people.
I find the guy on Instagram. I message him. I say, very, very politely, hey.
I did actually, I was impressed by the way you approached him. Mm-hmm. Just knowing how
I fly off the handles.
Normally approach, yeah, exactly. In the past, how you would probably normally approach a person that did something like this.
Well,
it would probably be a little bit more insulting and less diplomatic about the whole process.
There's a difference between having a person physically in front of you, and having to go through someone on the internet that you can't get a hold of. So, even though I do admit, over time, I'm older now.
You've matured.
I've matured a little. I'm not going to fight someone over a fucking pool table at a bar anymore.
Salmon shirt guy.
Oh yeah, that was your guy, the salmon shirt guy. Yeah. Don't try to put salmon shirt man on me. The pool table thing was the guy saying, "I'm playing your guys' pool table you've been playing on." Fuck no, you're not. Anyways. I diplomatically reached out to him. I was polite. I said, "Hey, I'm not trying to be a dick. We had this podcast. I saw that you had the same podcast name. Whatever, we were here first, blah, blah, blah." Even in a nicer way. I'm not going to disclose direct messages because, again, I'm not a piece of shit. I'm not going to disclose a direct message until it comes to that. When it needs to come to that. Well, the response I got was basically a polite fuck you. Right? I showed the message to you. How would you take that message?
I would have taken that message as, yeah, I saw that you had that name, but I decided that I was going to take the name too. And that's basically what he said. It was like... Openly
admitted that he saw that our podcast existed, saw that we own the domain for the podcast.
He straight up admitted, "Oh yeah, you had the name before us, you've been here longer than before us, but we thought of the name back in November." And, like, what is that? Like, you have no proof or anything
about
that, right? It doesn't even matter. If you don't actually have anything up on the internet, it doesn't matter if it's in your head or not. I could have thought of the idea 5 years ago.
Well, like I said, this guy basically gave me a polite, go fuck yourself, and openly admitted that, saw that we existed, saw that we were already a month ahead, took the name anyway, and is telling me that we're not going to change the shit. And, not to mention that, is now creeping on my IG, on my Instagram, watching my Instagram stories, and things like that. Not following me. I don't know if this guy's aware that I can see anyone that watches my Instagram stories. Because I have a public figure profile.
Maybe he just finds you cute. You are cute.
I think it's because he's a coward. And I also think it's because he's a plagiarist. I think this guy, because he knew openly that we had this shit already, thought that it was going to go unnoticed. Why else would you do that when there's no other podcast like that? Think that it would go unnoticed. The guy directly contacts you. And then you tell him, no, you're not going to do it? After admitting that you knew it?
I'm not sure why he wouldn't even change his name, because he said, well, I'm just doing this podcast for a small group of my friends. And what's the big deal about changing your name a little bit?
Exactly. That was the point where, when I messaged you about the stuff, that was the thing that kind of grinded my gears to where the little twinge of the angry part of me started wanting to come out.
Yeah.
And I want to be like, well, are you fucking stupid then? Like, if you don't have anyone listening to your shit and you just started and this is for your friends, change your fucking name. You didn't make this shit. We did. And you're trying right now, you telling me you're not going to change it? You see that our fucking analytics are better than yours, and you're trying to ride on ours as the new podcast. Go fuck yourself, is what I wanted to write to the guy.
But you didn't.
I didn't.
So that was good.
Because,
that was good.
Guess what? It's not going to do anything.
Yeah.
He can just tell me to fuck myself again,
yeah,
and nothing's going to come of it. So now I'm just going to let the guy creep on our social media, because he's going to keep doing it, obviously. He's been doing it all week. And, I don't know, man. Plagiarism. So, I had to... First, you weren't that mad about it.
I wasn't. Because I was just like, whatever. He's a like school-based, managing your time type podcast. So I put it on my mind as a different genre.
And then I got a text from you later.
Because I went on Spotify and I was just like, let's look up Do by Midnight. And I typed in Do by just to see what would pop up, because it kind of completes it for you.
Mm-hmm.
And then his podcast pops up, right? And ours doesn't. So I'm just like, well, why doesn't our podcast pop up but his does? And that's kind of sucks because if people do try to find Do by Midnight, if you're lazy like me, you type in as least amount as possible and the first thing that pops up is what you're going to think of, going on.
And it's because of what I texted you originally. It's the SEO principles and it's Google Analytics. It's all about the algorithm. And this is why I got so irritated when he openly admitted that he took the name after knowing that we had it and refused to change it. After we already have a presence, by our second episode.
Yeah,
when
you're a month into it, that's a pretty good amount of time. When you're in 4 episodes in.
But when we're in our second episode and we already have over 100 listeners in our second episode, and this is some like bullshit little podcast where some kid's gonna steal what you're doing because he's a college student for his friends. It pisses me off to the point where it's like, dude, you're a fucking plagiarist copying what we're doing
You're exactly copying our name that we have up there.
You're trying to confuse the algorithm in your favor. And the fact that you're telling me that you know it, and you did it anyway, shows me that you have no fucking integrity to begin with. So...
But he doesn't necessarily need to have integrity. Like, nothing's going to happen, right? There's no consequences. Where there's no consequences, you do whatever you want.
Correct. Except, you look like a fucking chode. Like,
chode.
Do you not have any... When I was in college, I took journalism, right? And, like, one of the main things of journalism is you do not fucking plagiarize. It destroys your credibility of creating anything. Anything. Whether it be a book, anything. You have no credibility at that point. You plagiarize one thing, your credibility is done. And someone that's trying to start a podcast, whether it be for entertainment purposes like ours, or someone that's trying to make some sort of bullshit college thing where somehow you can't manage your time while you're in college. No one fucking manages their time in college, alright? So shut the fuck up. You're a college student that can't even come up with original ideas, and you're trying to make a management fucking thing? Fuck you. Shut up. So, I guess that's the drama that we have in this week.
Yeah. I mean, as far as drama goes, it's not that horrible, but
no,
still stupid.
No, it is stupid and annoying. Imagine you. It'd be like someone ripping my YouTube videos off of my channel, creating a channel with the same name, and uploading them.
Just overdubbing their voice over yours.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just as annoying.
Yeah, definitely. Well, especially because we had that name for a while, and then when they decided to put that name up, they saw our name, and then they decided to go ahead and continue with their name, even though that there's a name like that out there anyways. Yeah, not classy. Not classy.
I fucking hate plagiarism, dude.
Yeah,
I hate plagiarists, and I feel like they are just like...
Because it's just...
They're the lowest of the... They're worse than paparazzi.
Because you're weak mentally, right? You can't even come up with your own thing. You
Yeah.
have to take somebody else's stuff.
They're worse than paparazzi, in my opinion. Paparazzi, at least, they will fucking kill each other to get a picture, you know what I mean? They don't fucking just, steal someone's SD card and say, these are my pictures.
This is mine? No, this is mine. Have you ever seen those memes where like, it's two, like, stick figures and they talk to each other, and one guy says, this is mine, and then the other guy takes it and then turns around and says, this is mine. It's basically the same thing, yeah.
Wow. Well, I think...
Well, there we go.
there we go.
Episode number 5, Brainscan. Not a
Brain
horror
Scan.
movie, but a good movie.
But
I liked it.
We haven't done our last part of our job yet.
What's our last part of our job?
What are we going to watch next?
Oh, yeah, we haven't actually talked about that at all. Huh.
I mean, we went from The Fly, Texas Chainsaw, Hellraiser 1 and 2,
Yep.
to Brainscan.
Yeah.
A killer video game.
I want to watch a horror movie. You know, like Hellraiser was. Like I said, that was a horror movie.
You want to watch
something
like a serious horror movie,
like demons or something like slasher. You know, the classic type horror movie where it's scary. It could even be a little bit comical. I don't know, but something that is more horror oriented. You know,
what, like Evil Dead.
Evil Dead. I like Evil. Yeah, let's watch Evil Dead. I love Evil Dead.
The first movie.
No, let's watch the second one. If
Evil
we're watching
Dead
it,
2?
yeah, because I think we're gonna have a guest speaker.
Dude, if we're gonna okay,
so
I'll put it out here. The idea we had for the Jason movies.
Yeah.
If we're gonna do Evil Dead, we
gotta
do the trilogy.
And 3.
We
So
gotta do
the one we saw in theaters too.
No, that's the remake.
Okay.
I'm talking about Army of Darkness.
Yeah. So we watch Evil Dead and then Army of Darkness.
No, Evil Dead. See, this is great. The
Evil
people are screaming at the radios right now. Evil Dead.
Yeah.
Evil Dead 2, Dead by Dawn. Army of Darkness is Evil Dead 3.
Evil Dead 2 then.
Yeah, it's
I actually saw Army of Darkness and then Evil Dead.
the remake.
No, the first one. And then I saw the remake with you. So that's like how I watched it all.
Dude, the remake was fucking good.
I liked the remake, yeah.
And there were so many like little Easter egg throwbacks to the original. I remember grabbing you in the theater like, oh my god, they're saying this line. You're like, man, I don't know what you're talking about.
I miss going to the theater.
I know. Dude, we had a good time when we went to the theaters.
We did. When the downtown mall was like open, we had some fun times going up there.
What the fuck was that bar underneath the theater?
River City Brewing.
Dude, those oak beers or whatever the fuck they were called, those oak tree beer things
They
that
were
were like
freaking big, like the liters.
Yeah,
get the liters.
but they were like 25% alcohol or some shit.
Yeah, those were
Dude,
fun
that
times.
was I went to piss that time we were there. That I think it was the last time we were there before they tore it down. And I went to the bathroom to take a piss, and there was some crazy dude in the bathroom, and I was like so fucking wasted that me and you had like a discussion going on about Steve Jobs and fucking.
How do you remember that?
Because I wouldn't remember it if this fucking crazy thing didn't happen in the bathroom. We were having this conversation at the bar about Steve Jobs and fucking Wozniak.
Okay.
And
so like how Steve Jobs chode and Wozniak did
yeah,
all the work?
Yeah.
Sounds like something we were talking about.
And I was like taking a piss, and I was like working out the stuff we were talking about in my mind. And I guess I was like talking to myself, and the dude in the bathroom came in. And there's like 4 stalls.
Yeah.
Or 4 urinals. He goes to the one next to me as I'm like sitting here talking to myself.
That's a crime in itself.
Yeah, it's don't ever do that if you're a man. First of all, you don't go to the one right next to another dude. Anyway, he asked me. He's like, "What are you talking about? I heard Steve Jobs," and I'm like, now I'm like weirded out, but I'm trying to pee, so I play it off. I'm like, well, me and my friend are talking about whether, like, is Steve Jobs or fucking Wozniak this or whatever. And all of a sudden, the guy screamed.
What?
He screamed like a high-pitched woman scream that would happen in a movie.
Are you taking a piss while he's screaming? Or?
Yeah.
What?
And then he ran out of the bathroom.
And that's what happened? Like,
yeah.
No reason why he's screaming?
No. Like, I was taking a piss, and it fucking, like, startled me. He, like, just screamed like a woman and ran out of the bathroom.
Downtown Sacramento for you.
But he wasn't, like, a homeless dude. It was just, like...
Some dude.
Some dude.
That's pretty funny.
That's why I remember that. It's so fucking weird.
Yeah, that's weird as hell. And completely on topic for Brainscan, so...
Well, whatever. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode.
Yeah.
We'll see you on the next episode when we record Evil Dead.
Yeah, let's go with Army of Darkness, I guess.
Army of
I think
Darkness.
Army of Darkness would be a good
I think
one for Nathan.
it is one of my personal favorites.
That's one of my favorites, yeah.
Dude, okay. Well, I'll talk about Evil Dead later.
Cannibal
I can
stuff.
go on and on about Evil Dead,
Yeah.
obviously.
Well, Army of Darkness is like the comedy version of Evil Dead. So.
The whole Evil Dead 2 is the extreme comedy.
Well, I don't think I've seen our Evil Dead 2 then. Because Army of Darkness is...
Army of Darkness is
after
when he goes back in
Evil Dead
time
2.
to the Knights.
And the one where he goes...
King
you know,
King Arthur,
when he's
yeah.
saying is...
Klaatu, Verata,
yeah. Love that.
Yeah. Evil Dead 2 is where he's still in the cabin.
Oh.
That's where he cuts his hand off for the chainsaw.
So Evil Dead 1, he doesn't cut his hand off?
No. No.
I got the whole series messed up in my head then.
I love it because the first one's great too.
Alright, so what are we doing? Evil Dead 2 or Army of Darkness?
Well, Evil Dead 2.
Evil Dead 2?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
Alright. Evil Dead 2.
Yeah. Looking forward to it.
Me too. Especially because I'm going to gush like crazy over this one.
It's going to be like a fanboy.
Yeah. I'm just going to like jizz all over this movie and the franchise.
Do a lot of journalism all over it.
Yeah. Alright, guys. Later.